What is going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. It is November 22nd. It's a little after 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Give it just a couple moments. Let people join up if they want to join. Again, hopefully you're all having a great weekend. And hopefully you guys killed it last week because we had a wild market last week. Very, very giving. We did a live stream on Friday. Traded live with you guys. I was able to walk away over $4,000 in profit. We'll go over last week's trading and prepare for the upcoming week. Let me know in the comments if my volume levels are all right. Again, I went through and I tweaked with the volume a bit. I made it a little bit louder and more crisp because I had a couple people complain that the volume was off. You're always messing with the volume as a streamer. So let's get into this real quick. Friday, I traded live. So all right, thanks DJ. Says sounds good to me. Awesome. So let's get into this real quick. Friday, I made almost $5,000 trading live with you guys. And then we go back to Thursday. Thursday, I made $3,000 just trading one stock, KNDI. Wednesday, made just over $5,000. Tuesday, traded here, made almost or just over $2,000. And then Monday, I think I can't remember too much Monday. I was scrolling up trying to see. I posted I made almost $3,000 here on Monday, but I can't remember that far back. I'm pretty sure I went green every day last week. And if you guys are in the Discord, I post my profits and my trading every single day. So you can all see I'm consistently profitable as a trader. If I plan on teaching and mentoring, I'm going to be upfront and honest with you guys and show you that I can pull consistent profits out of the stock market on a daily basis. You know, we're always in here Monday through Friday talking about what we're trading, what we're looking at. And then I always forget to post it in the profits chat. But I've also created this profits chat for you guys too, to post your profits and show off what you're trading, you know, what you're working on and whatnot. But a very, very solid week. The past 2 months have just been phenomenal trading opportunities in the market. Just phenomenal. Everything's just been exploding and going wild. So, a lot of opportunities last week. A lot of opportunities. As you guys know, Fridays when I stream, I tell you guys, I have a big TV up above my head and I have 9 other charts up and going. I honestly feel like I don't have enough charts up because that's how many opportunities there are in the markets. Like, look at all of these charts right here. 9 charts, 9 different stocks. All of these are showing opportunity. They're all setting up. They're looking like they're about to pop. I have so many stocks on my stock watch list. We're about to go over them all and get ready for the upcoming week, as I like to call it, Money Monday. So look at this opportunity here on KCAC. Let me get my marker out. A good opportunity here on KCAC. This is just a textbook breakout here. You got your big wedge right here. Stock pops up right there, pulls back down to the area it broke out from, and from that mental $20 in the previous day's close right there, 20 bucks, this pops up all the way up over $21. A nice $1 pop there within 10 minutes. Yeah, it had light volume, but there's just opportunity everywhere in this market. Here's the 10-minute on it. Here's that wedge again right here. You got your nice little wedge right there. Stock broke to the upside, pulled back, off she goes. And then look at that volume increase right there. Let's see, Friday, I traded NETE with you guys live. NETE, and then it ran at the end of the day. NETE right from the open goes from 970s all the way up to almost 12 bucks, and this pulled back down to this $11 area right here. This is where I was watching it. And then as this was pushing up to that 1125 and then pulling back down to that 11, that's where I took my position, and I rode this all the way up to almost 12 bucks and sold it. Let me see. I don't think I have the chart. No, I didn't post the chart on NETE when I traded it. But this was a nice, good trade here. And then we had, what was it? It wasn't APVO. Was it AY? Yeah, it was AYRO right here. This beautiful call out squeeze from Friday when I said that this was consolidating here at 8. They'll probably slam it down, take everybody out, grind it back up, and then squeeze the shorts. And this ran all the way up from 780s all the way up to almost $9 into a halt. And then when it reopened, it ran all the way up to almost $10. Beautiful play on AYRO. Even, I mean, just look at all these stocks, all of them, grinding up from $3 all the way up to $7.50. KXIN, FTSI, getting a nice run pre-market. NETE, AYRO, LGVW, going from 1050 to 13s. BLNK, now this one's a beast. This one ran for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight days. Look at that. Way over here, what was that? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All week, this stock ran from $10 all the way up to $25. A $15 move in a week. Let's zoom in on this. This was Monday. Monday it ran from 10 up to 1130s. And this is a beautiful move right here because it had this morning move, and then from 11 all the way till 2 right here, it had that lunch hours consolidation. Just consolidated for a couple hours right here from 1080 up to 1130. So a good 50-cent range you could have just back and forth. Bought, sold, bought, sold, bought, sold. Just back and forth range, just wallet patterns, as I like to call them. And then going into the end of the day, from 1120s, pushes up to 12, and then pushes up to 1250. Just good opportunities, and look at all that volume come in at the end of the day right there. Volume is so key in the stock market as a day trader. If you're in the Discord, you guys hear me talk about volume all the time. I don't use any other indicators, just volume and price action, keeping it simple. So that was Monday. Let's fast forward to the next day. Stock gets a morning dip right here. And right from that morning dip, stock runs back up, reclaims VWAP, and holds VWAP as support at that 1250s level. And from 1250, just runs all the way up to 1450, a nice $2 range. And then pretty much just went sideways for the rest of the day. But I will add, you can clearly see the resistance on this at 1450. Right there, right there, and right there. 3 times it hit 1450, and slowly but surely, this stock was making higher lows. So what's that tell me? This stock is squeezing. It's squeezing up. So with that in mind, this stock closed at $14. Going into the next day, I would be anticipating a gap up and run because this stock is squeezing. So let's fast forward to Wednesday. The stock actually gapped down to $13. But when it opened up, the stock ran all the way up to 16 bucks. Let me zoom out a little bit. So it closed right there. Next day, the stock opens up below the previous day's close, dips down, runs up, and look at that little consolidation right there, right underneath the previous day's close. And then you get that big explosion up over that $14 up to 15. Let me get comfortable real quick. I normally don't like to swing trade. I don't ever really hold overnight. But imagine if you were to bought this the previous day and you're anticipating that gap up and you got scared out of that morning dip right here. You got scared out. The stock slammed down from 1350s down to 1320s for it to come all the way back up and then rip up even higher. Trading the first 10 to 15 minutes of the market open, it's just so volatile and price action is just swinging up violently. 50 cents, $1 at a time, down $1 at a time. It can be really, really wild and unpredictable at times. That's why I try to hold off and chill, sit back, let that first 10 minutes from the market open go by, and then reevaluate and see what is setting up potentially. And if you're here every day, you just see stuff happen over and over and over again. But this is Wednesday when it had this move up. From 13 all the way up to almost $16. and then it slams all the way down to 14 and pretty much just went sideways for the rest of the day. Right here in a range. Now let's go back to the next day, Thursday. Noticed how Wednesday it was consolidating right here. And then you go to Thursday and the stock opens, pops up, pulls back, and off she goes. And volume just increased all morning on it. Consolidation, all volume increased. Going from $15 all the way up to 19 bucks. Just beautiful. And look at this, just ramps up right here and then pulls all the way back down to the VWAP, bounces off that VWAP right back up to the highs. Closes strong Thursday and then into Friday, opens up at that 19 and just continues to fire up and fire up all the way up to 25 bucks. This is the exhaustion move right here. That's the exhaustion move. Why do I say that? Because this stock kept pushing up higher and higher and higher on decreasing volume. You see that? So every time this stock made a new high, it was doing it on very light volume. So I don't know, going into Monday, I really don't know what will happen. But that's just a wild exhaustion move there. This could gap up and keep going, or it could get that gap down. I would just be cautious going into Monday. Yeah, if you zoom out, on Friday it did have more volume on average compared to all these days. But still, it was pushing up on light volume for that day. Let's see the 10-minute. Yeah, you see what I'm saying on the 10-minute here? Let's say the average volume is that right there. It got this push up right here on increased volume, but as it kept pushing up all right here, it was doing it on light volume. Could pull back down just below 19 bucks to this like 1850s area, but I'll keep BLNK on watch for Monday. It's due for a good red day. And when that red day comes, watch out. It's going to be, everybody's going to be unloading because they never really had an exit. You know, the chart has never really given anybody an X or a reason to exit their position. And then look at Solo. Just same thing as BLNK. Just all week. Just kept grinding and grinding up from 19 all the way up to 25 bucks. But the weird thing with WKHS was it kept consolidating and then pushing. Consolidating, pushing. Consolidating, pushing. Look at way back here. We'll go back way over here. When it had this sell down right here. Stock just kept making lower highs, lower lows on this increased volume right here. And then pops up and then starts to like level off. Finally makes a new higher low. right underneath this VWAP. Fast forward to the next day. You see what I'm saying when it makes that higher low? Higher low, right from there. Higher low. 1950 was resistance on it from way over here where the VWAP was. The next day gets that push up, and when it pulls back, that 1950s is all acting as support right here. And then it gets that wedge. $19.50s is support on it. And it almost like it wedges down like that. And when it wedges down, it pokes up, pulls back, it's holding as support, and off she goes. Just surging all the way up. And look at that big volume surge. Just keeping it simple, guys. And then look at, if a stock is extended like that from the VWAP, don't chase after it. More than likely, the stock's gonna retrace back down to that VWAP, and that could potentially be an area to reevaluate and look for a position for maybe at a scalp opportunity, or, reanalyze your position. Because think of that VWAP as a magnet. If the stock is above that VWAP, the stock is going to make its way back to that VWAP, and it's like a magnetic field. It's going to pull it to it. And if the stock's below that VWAP, look for that VWAP to hold as resistance. VWAP has become very, very popular in recent years. When I first started, VWAP was just starting to get popular. And this was 5 years ago. So now everybody has VWAP plotted on their charts. Everybody. Fast forward to the next day here. You see what I'm saying right here? This push up on WKHS pushes up to 2140s or 2150s. And it pulls right back to that VWAP. Gets real tight off of that VWAP. Pushes up, pulls back, holding, continues pushing up. Pulls all the way back down. Look at it. Bounces right off that VWAP. Pops up, came back down to it, then it fell through VWAP, and then VWAP was holding as resistance. Hovers just below VWAP, gets back above it, it's holding, pushes off of it. All right here also. You see how important that VWAP is? Just Me says, funny, I call VWAP the magnet, and some traders don't like it. It's too popular, so they think that algos have taken over it. I have a trader in my chat room, Sully. He's been trading for like 20, 25 years. He doesn't use VWAP because he can visually see, where the popular areas on the chart. But that's just, and honestly, that's just a lame excuse if somebody's not going to use something because of how popular it is. I would want to be using it if it's very, very popular. Why not? I mean, I'm seeing what everybody else is seeing, and knowing that I know how to read charts and break down charts, I could take advantage of the opportunities that it gives. So why not? That's a pretty lame excuse if traders are saying that. That's like saying you don't use the 200 and the 50-day moving average on your daily chart because everybody else uses it. That's pretty, that I just don't see no reasoning to that right there. But people are weird. There's a lot of weird people out there. And again, if we fast forward to the very next day, I'm giving you guys so many VWAP examples. Like, look at that. I mean, those are easy money shots. Bounces off VWAP, bounces off VWAP, bounces off VWAP, pushes all the way up. If you were patient, this trended all the way back down beautifully from 23.50 to 22.50. It pulls back $2 beautifully to that VWAP. And from 22.50, you could have had a nice scalp of 50 cents right there. Pulls back down, bounces off of it. Pulls back down, bounces off of it. I mean, look at how, that's a trading strategy in itself. Just trading with the VWAP. Does it work 100% of the time? No, but it works majority of the time. Let's see. You know, like here's an example right here. Stock hovers up right here and it fails VWAP, but it pushes right back through it, holds it, off she goes. You know, in my world, VWAP's a must. It really is. It really tells you who's in control of the stock, the bulls or the bears. And it can give you some really good trading opportunities just by trading from it. Like right here, Friday on AYRO. When this was hovering right at the VWAP and they flushed it down, took out everybody's stop loss, and then shorts shorted it. They put their risk just above that VWAP or at the high up here, and they grind it right back up. And then you get that explosion up over the VWAP, over $1. So I'm going to continue watching AYRO. I mean, there's just so many stocks to keep an eye on. This is my watch list going into next week. I easily have probably over 20, 30 stocks on watch going into next week. Let's see what else we can come up with. I thought, you know, we'd go over a couple stocks today, guys, just hang out. And then I wanted to mess around with the trade idea scanners. I wanted to tweak with it a little bit. Because, I have a lot of trade idea other scanners up. Like this one's my multi-strategy window. And I wanted to go back through and kind of mess with the settings of it a little bit. So I have a halt resume, which tells me when stocks get halt or resumed in the stock market. Stocks that were down big yesterday, but they're up big today. So if I go into the configure and go to my how I have it set up, I just wanted to see how I have it set up and see if I need to readjust anything. So from change from the previous day, it's at -5%. The float is under 90 million. Price between $2 and $60. and then change from the close, it has to be up the next day at least 3%. The relative volume has to be 2, and the volume on the day has to be 250,000. I think that's a little bit too low. I'm gonna change that to 500,000. And then stocks rallying off of the bottom. Go into the configure on that. There's a multiple different alerts set on this. So 60-minute stochastics crossed above 20, 60-minute MACD crossed above 0. I just left all of this default. You know, I selected the strategy and I just went over into the window specific filter and I just put the filters in of what I like to look for. Like the price, you know, $2 to $60. The float. What do I have this? I think I have the float at 100 million. The volume today is at 750K. But the one that I really like is this one right here. This is the VWAP and Fibonacci scanner. Now this is picking up stocks that gap up. For the Fibonacci side, if it gaps up, it's measuring from the previous day's close to the pre-market high or the day high. And as the stock retraces, it'll alert me for every level that that stock comes to in the Fibonacci retracement. Now for the VWAP scanner, it alerts me when the stock is at a certain percentage near, above, or below that VWAP. So if a stock is within 2% of that VWAP or 2% above the VWAP, it'll alert me. But it's only going to alert me if the stock has, let's say, 500,000 in volume on the day. See right here. Crossed above VWAP, that's checked. Positive VWAP divergence is 2.5%, the minimum up. And then I have only 2 Fibonacci's that I care about. The 50% and the 62% retracement, which is the 618. And that's within 2 hours of trading. The float, 50 million shares or less, between $2 and $60. And the volume today is at 1 million or more. And the relative volume's at 3 or greater. So I really like this one. I find a lot of good trading opportunities on this one. Like you can see here, it picked up PLG when this exploded up over the VWAP here. And this is just an example. You know, with that, it's the VWAP crossing one. So when this crossed above that VWAP, it crossed above 2.5% or more, and it triggered the volume on the day. And when this consolidated at 2, it pushed up to 230s after hours. So that's when it popped up on that scanner. It's not 100% accurate. I mean, it does have some flaws, but it's just all about tweaking with it every day noticing how it's performing in the market cycles, how it's performing during different market cycles, and then just going through it and tweaking with it a little bit at a time. And then this one right here, this is just the basic momentum scanner. Pretty much if a stock keeps hitting a new high of day and volume's surging into it and the flow is under 10 million, I think I have on this one, then it'll pop up on this. This is very good for in the morning when the market just opens up. It pretty much tells me which is the number one stock like that everybody's going after. So yeah, I like trade ideas. Trade ideas is a very little handy tool to have in your back pocket. Oh yeah, KNDI, they did a direct placement of 100 million before the market opened. So Thursday, this was the hot stock. And so it was like every day the stock was hot. Just like with every other stock. But going into Friday, this stock had a big gap down from 1450s all the way down to just below 1150. And when that market opened, pushes all the way up to 1350s. It filled that gap right here. So you have that error in the chart, and even look up here on the 10-minute. That stock was way up here. It gapped down, leaving this wide open space right here. That's an error in the chart. So if you have a gap error in the chart, a good trading strategy is fill the gap. And that's what this did right here. But this was a little bit of a sloppy one. Like, look at this. It pushed down right here, making its bottom at that mental 1150. Pushes up to the VWAP. And I like to call this a micro pullback. Micro pullback is it moves up and it gets that little pullback before it gets that big push through a big resistance level. And in this case, it's the VWAP. So it gets that micro pullback right there, pushes through it, and then consolidates right here at VWAP, thinking it's going to push up even more. But it failed, took everybody out, and then pushed right back up through that VWAP, and then held, and then pushed up. So a bit on the sloppy slide. Like, if I was to trade this, I probably would have traded it right there, got taken out, and then when seen it come right back up, I probably wouldn't have traded it again right there. And that's just the luck of the draw sometimes as a trader. You have the right idea, but your timing's off, or, you just have the right idea, it's just not the right time. I've seen that happen so many times in my career. So somebody asked, do I think the Recognia tool on Street Smart Edge is useful? It's legit. It's pretty cool. I never really get into it though. I never really cared for it. It's just too much. And that's this tool right here. I never cared much for it. It is pretty slick into seeing what events, you could pull up on it. It's your short term, intermediate, and long term. I thought they had a few extra things you can look on here, like the patterns and stuff. See, like a strategy builder, an intraday trader. This right here, yeah, this is what I was talking about. Yeah, they have little cool things on here, but I just never got into it. You can easily get lost up in this thing. But it is pretty slick. You can definitely use it to your advantage. I've just never gotten into it. But real quickly, I want to shout out to this upcoming Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. If you join up, we got the day trading boot camp, $10 a month. We start the class, first class on Tuesday, $10 a month. I just worked on it all day. Very excited to present it to you guys. Thank you for everybody who signed up for it. You're all going to get a great education from that day trading masterclass and boot camp. It's going to teach you the beginning and the basics of how I learned and the steps that I took to get to where I am at today. You know, if you feel like you need a guidance or where to go as a trader with the right steps to take, I would highly recommend this. I'm going to be working on this probably for the next year, making class by class. So class 1, I just got done finishing up today. And if you sign up for it, you get 100% access to the Discord. You lock the entire Discord, which is filled with all kinds of great educational content. Like, I'm telling you guys, it's jammed packed. I've been filling this Discord up for the past 3 to 4 years with stuff, everything. And another cool feature, if you want a trading buddy, go up in here, write a little bio about yourself, or go through and read the bios from other traders and connect with the trading buddy or buddy. Help each other, push each other, stick to each other's rules, talk about stocks, all that good stuff. I think it's just really too many stocks to really talk about. Like, there's over 30 stocks to talk about. And here's another good setup on SONO. You know, this got enough room to run up to back up to 22 bucks. So I'm just going to keep all of these on my list. Wake up tomorrow, Monday, and then pre-market, just go through my list and add all the ones that I think have the best potential setup at that moment. See what's gapping up pre-market and go from there. I mean, there's really no point in going over every single ticker on here when I'm probably only going to focus and trade maybe 2 of them, 3 of them. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity out there. So we're just going to have to see what happens. So Caesar asks, I signed up for the boot camp. If I cannot watch it in the morning, can I watch it replay later? Yes. All of the classes will be saved and they'll be added to a playlist, and they will only be available for members only. So you can go back, rewatch it as many times as you want, whenever you want. I'll have it on the YouTube channel, and I'll also have it in the Discord. I also, let me pull it up. Because if you sign up, you get upgraded to a member role. and I created a members only chat right here. I will save the videos to this chat. And then if you're a member of the Discord, you can easily go in here. And I created another one, the Day Trading Masterclass Part 1. I'm going to post all the videos here for all you members to go back and rewatch all of the classes. Whether that be later in the future and we're 15 classes in, you can go back and watch class 1 all the way up to the present to get caught up or just refresh your memory. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be a very, very good masterclass. I'm going to be putting out classes for this for the next upcoming year, 2021. It's going to be everything that I know. No problem, Caesar. See, even look at LGVW. Just having a nice epic run from 10s all the way up to 13. Just so many stocks just boom, exploded up. There's going to be a lot of FOMO probably going into next week. Got to take advantage of these opportunities. I know I have been. When breakouts like this just keep happening and all that FOMO's in the market, me personally, you just got to be aggressive. You got to. That's the important thing as a trader. You got to know when to be aggressive and you got to know when not to be aggressive. You know, if you could only see maybe 1 or 2 stocks a day popping off, that's not a time to be aggressive. That's a time to be conservative, play defensively, take it one trade at a time. But recently, we've been having all of these stocks just explode up and it just go wild. 10, 15, 20 stocks a day easily. All of these stocks just exploding. That's telling you something. That right now, times are easy and it's time to be aggressive. And that's the way it's been the past 2 to 3 weeks, the past month, 2 months. And this is how I've been able to pull out big profits day in and day out. Like on average, I've been able to pull in at least 5,000 a day. And that's from just being aggressive, taking advantage of the opportunities. When times are slow, you just sit on your hands and wait. You wait for these types of opportunities. Because all it takes is for that one big sector to break out, like like Tesla. Tesla was, after it got going, up from that 400 all the way up to 500, all these other stocks are going to follow in sympathy. BLNK, SUNW, Solo, WKHS, XPEV. Just so many stocks. I mean, I'm excited for Money Monday. I'm ready to capitalize for another good week of gains. But I'll show you guys my watch list one more time. I'm not going to go over every single ticker. Here's what's on my watch list for the upcoming week. Let me bring it over so you guys can see it. There you go. Easily 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like 35 stocks, and they're all in play and set up beautifully. So it's just all about picking, the best A+ setup. And we don't even know what's going to pop up tomorrow. And the market just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. Yeah, I'm not talking really too much. I'm pretty burnt out from today. I worked all day on that master class. I was up at 10 a.m. Eastern time this morning, and I just literally finished it up like 2 hours ago. So I ate a little snack, and then I'd hop back on live to do the stock talk with you guys for Sunday. Just always on this grind, guys. But I'll wrap it up here in a moment, get a good night's sleep, and then ready to rock and roll Monday morning. Again, hopefully you guys all had a great week. You're able to get some studying in, learn from the past, what happened last week, study all of these charts because it'll happen again in the future. This is how you get better as a trader, guys. Study everything and break it down piece by piece. What exchange is it on? What sector is it in? What's the float? What's the catalyst? The volume? What's the average volume per day? What's the price action looking like? Break all this stuff down, and then when it happens again in the future, you'll be ready to just capitalize and make that money. I don't know what Daniela's doing, but she's posting a lot of steak. But I think that's going to about wrap it up for this one, guys. Just thought I'd hop on for a moment, say, hey, what's up? The next time I'll see you guys will be this upcoming Friday when we do the live stream trading again. All right, guys. That's going to wrap it up for this one. Till next time, have that patience, have that discipline, study, study, study,